Hello, and welcome to this Price a Job tutorial. In this video, we're going to take a look at the newly updated Tradespeople settings. To access your Tradespeople administrative settings, click the Company tab here in the top left corner, and then under the Resources section, select Tradespeople. Here you'll find a list of the most commonly used tradespeople in the construction trades, along with their recommended rates, and both default and project rates that you can use within the Price a Job system to calculate your estimates. There's also a regional map of the UK that will automatically modify all of these rates depending on the region that you're working in. For example, a bricklayer in London might expect £25 per hour, whereas in Wales, the going rate might be closer to 22. And you can use these recommendations as a guideline for calculating your estimates in any region of the UK. Under the system rates, you have both default rates and project rates. The default rate will be used for every new project that you open, and these rates will be used to calculate your various labor costs for each module. Project rates, on the other hand, can be modified for an existing project for one-off exceptions. When you update your project rates and then update project, only the currently loaded project will have its rates affected. All other new projects that you create will automatically use the default rate. So for example, let's take a look at our current estimate that we're working on, and we can see that we have a grand total of £48,000. And this includes all of the labor for the various modules here, provided by a wide assortment of tradespeople. Let's go back into our Company tab, back to the tradespeople in the resources, and let's change a few of our project rates. Let's change bricklayer to £10 per hour, carpenter to £10 per hour, electrician to £10 per hour, and labourer to £5. Now if we consult our estimate, we'll see that our total has not changed at all. And the reason why is because we have not updated the project yet. So let's go back to the Company tab, back to Tradespeople. We can see all of our overridden values still remain. Now what we can do is update the project, and the project rates have been applied to our estimate. Now when we consult our estimate, our total, which was £48,000, has now dropped to 45. To revert back to the default settings, we can click on the Company tab, select Tradespeople, and either manually change each of the rates that we have overridden, or as a shortcut, we can choose to copy rates and use this function here. Here we have an option of copying the recommended rates to our default, the recommended rates to our project rates, or the default rates to our project rates. In this case, let's copy the default rates to our currently selected project. And we receive a confirmation letting us know that all current project prices will be copied from my default prices. We can agree to that, and we can see that all of our project rates have updated to match the default. Now we can go ahead and update the project and check our estimate, and we see that our price has reverted back to £48,000. If we prefer to use the recommended rates, we can go back to the Company tab, select Tradespeople, and rather than using the default rate, we can use these recommended rates here by selecting Copy Rates and copy Recommended to Project Rates. And agree. And then we can see that all of our project rates have been updated to match the recommended rates. So now we will update our project and consult the estimate, and we can see that the total price has increased to £50,000. Now if you're performing this exact same job in a different region, what you could do is save this as a new version. Go to the Versions tab and add a version. We'll copy existing and create. Switch to version 2. And now when we go to our Company tab, we can select Tradespeople and select a different region which we'll be operating in. And this revises the recommended rates. So now we can copy the new recommended rates to our project rates, agree, update the project, and now we can consult the estimate, and we can see that this same project that was £50,000 in London will cost only £49,000 in Scotland. And if you want to go back to consult your previous version, version 1, you can select the project settings, select the Versions tab, and select the previous version. Here we might label these for London and Scotland. We'll revert back to version 1. And we can see that our grand total has reverted automatically to 50,100. In Scotland, it would be 48.9. So let's close the project details window and go back to our Company tab, go back to the Tradespeople page, And we note that all of these rates are posted in hourly rates. If we prefer to see this displayed as daily rate, we can simply select here at the top hourly versus daily. And the daily rate is based on an 8-hour workday, but the calculation is essentially the same. Here, if we select the Southeast for a 0% modifier, we can see that the rate of £50 per hour converts to £400 per day. And we can compare that to the hourly, £50 per hour, £400 per day. In addition to these most commonly used tradespeople, you can also add new tradespeople or teams. And we can do that by clicking the Add New button here in the top right corner. If there's a tradesperson you'll be using that's not in the list already, you can add that here, or perhaps you're subcontracting a team that you'll be paying one base rate. For example, a painter plus 2 laborers. And here you can set the price per hour at £50 and save. And if you realize you've made an input error and that this team actually only works for £30 per hour, you can simply go in and manually modify their default rate and the project rate. And if you've previously submitted a team that you'll be no longer using, you can simply remove it from the table by selecting the Delete button here and confirming the deletion. And that tradespeople team has been removed. A couple of important points that should be emphasized is if you copy any rates to your project rate, only your current estimate will be affected. None of your other saved jobs will be affected when you update this project rate. Only the current estimate. Likewise, when you change your default rates, none of your currently existing quotes will be affected. They will continue to use the default or project rates that were in place when you made that module. However, any new projects that you create will use the new default rate. Another little trick that you can use to save on costs is to assign various tasks to a general laborer as opposed to a licensed tradesperson. To do that, we can go here under the Resources tab and select Labor. And here we'll see a list of all the various labor descriptions. Beside each task is the recommended tradesperson to deal with this task. In any of these cases, we can select the drop-down menu and reassign this task rather to a skilled painter to a general laborer. Now, anytime that this task is called upon within the price of job system, it will be automatically assigned to a general laborer rather than the higher paid painter. And you can use this method to help cut down on some of your labor costs. To revert back, simply select the drop-down again and reassign to the preferred tradesperson. And that's how to manage your tradespeople rates. Thank you for using Price a Job.